Welcome to Own Your Dream Home. I'm Zahira and I'm thrilled to take you on a journey of turning your dream home into a reality.
In this series, we'll explore everything you need to know, speaking with experts across every field.
It is not just about the system, it's about the experience.
To help you feel confident in building, designing, and owning the home you always imagined. Whether you're just starting out or well on your way, we're here to inspire and guide you. Let's make your dream home a reality.
Welcome to another episode of Own Your Dream Home. I'm Zahira with Capital, and we are talking financing. We're having a chat with Cecil from CIBC, and what are the first steps that we need to take when seeking financing?
Well, the first steps you need to take when you're seeking financing is to understand your budget, understand how much you qualify for. To do that, we at CIBC suggest you do what we call a financial health check, which involves us having a total understanding of your financial affairs. So you need to understand things such as your income, we understand your liabilities, and from that information, we can tell you what is the maximum you will qualify for and still be able to live comfortably.
So now that we know what we qualify for, I mean, I'm still a bit confused. I know how much I can spend, and I know maybe I want to do a build, but where do I go from here?
Okay, so you know how much you qualify for. Where do you go from there? Do you want to buy a house that's already finished? You don't want to go through the headache of financing and the construction process, or do you prefer to build what is your dream home? Which one do you want to do?
Well, own your dream home, right?
Well, both are own your dream home, really. But if you're looking at doing a construction, then your next steps would be, do you already have your parcel of land? Are you going to be looking for a parcel of land? Location. Where do you want to live? What you want to live there? Is it close to maybe schools that your children go to? Is it close to work? Close to friends and family? But once you've secured where you want to live and you secure that lot, your next plan really is to seek an architect, someone who's going to design that dream home for you, make sure the bedrooms are in its right position for the airflow, and they really take into consideration your lifestyle and they design a plan. From there, the plans are then submitted to Town and Country Planning for approval. What I will also encourage folks to do at that point in time is to go to tender. As quickly as possible as you can, go to tender, which basically is you're having 3 or 4 or 5 contractors who will put a bid in on your process in terms of the construction finance. We invite you to come in and we invite you to bring in all of your supporting documents, your approved plans and such. We complete a formal application and we will have a response for you within 48 hours. Now, that will be an approval in principle, subject to a quantity surveyor's report. An independent person who comes in and what they basically do is they just confirm that the costing of your project is reasonable to your contractor, as well as give us an indication of values present and values on completion of the construction. Once that is finished, we issue with our facility letters, and once you've executed, we go to the attorneys for the attorneys to start to prepare the legal work. During that time, we encourage our clients, if it is life insurance that you need to have completed, property insurance, mortgage indemnity, your fixed price contract with your contractor. During that period, we encourage customers to get all those little things completed so that once that mortgage document comes back to us, there's nothing delaying the disbursement process, and we go straight to disbursement.
So we're trying to cross our T's and dot our I's.
Correct.
And how long do you think this process usually takes? Like, let's be honest now.
So I'll be frank and be honest. So the approval process from the bank, within 48 hours, we know, especially if you're being pre-approved, we know whether or not we are doing this financing. The valuation process can take 2 to 3 weeks sometimes, because they have to do costing, measurements, comparable stuff like that. The lengthy part, and this is the legal part, and the legal part can take 3 to 4 months sometimes. And that's why I encourage, within that time frame, get all of the incidentals out of the way, so that once your mortgage is back, there's nothing delaying us from proceeding to actually start to build your home.
Well, I know that it sometimes gives people a lot of hesitancy.
Yes,
a lot of anxiety is up in the air, but you want to build. And somehow I feel a lot more comforted, like knowing that you guys are at the helm. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like you're holding my hand through the process, and it feels quite safe. So you got your pre-approval, you've got your plans in order, your due diligence is on the way,
Correct.
and now you're ready to build.
Correct.
And then the bank, I am assuming, is here to like do the disbursement and make sure everything is to the T.
The bank is here to hold your hand through this process and take as much of the headaches out of the process for you. So we normally disperse in stages. So your first stage is usually substructure or bringing the project out of the ground. Then depend whether it's 2-story or 1-story, then you do your superstructure, which is your blocks and your internal and external blocks coming up. If it's a single story, then it's rim beam, roof covering, what we call making the house watertight, the windows and doors. And then all the little things that I'm sure you're interested in, your tiles, your cabinets, all that stuff then goes on the interior. The time frame for building does depend a lot on the size of your property, your contractor, how many folks he has working on the project with you, and the time length he's putting his contract he believes the project can be completed for. But through that entire process, believe that CIBC will work with you and hold your hand through that entire process.
It sounds like it. And I mean, it sounds as well that it's not only about the build or land and build, rather, it's also owning your dream home with something that's already existing.
Correct. That is 100% true. And like I said, we are here to help you through that process. We don't start and leave you. We are going to hold your hand through that process. So at each stage, so the end of the superstructure, we need to get a report done. Your contractor says, hey, I've finished the superstructure. I now need X to do the next stage. The QS goes in, the QS validates everything he says. Your architect also gives a certificate to say it is completed, and then we do another disbursement. And something that is very important, with our bridging facilities, you only pay interest on what you have drawn. So let's say your project is $700,000, you're not paying interest on $700,000 at the beginning. So if you only draw $100,000, then you can pay interest on $100,000 until you draw again. And then as you increase on the bridging facility, then you pay the interest commensurate.
Now that I've got my dream home, I've lived in it a couple years now, right? What other advantages does this property have for me?
Well, there are a lot of advantages. First of all, you're building generational wealth. Second of all, you can pull out money from that property, equity from that property, and you can help educate your children. You can help liquidate debt if you have a lot of convenience cares and debts you want to amalgamate, have a smaller payment, or you might want to become an investor. You may be able to pull some of that equity out to help you build, buy, or you can pull that money out and use it as an injection or to purchase a second property.
It sounds like this dream home is becoming more of a dream for me. I'm not gonna lie.
And we're here to help you through the process.
Well, thank you a lot, Cecil. That's another episode of Own Your Dream Home. I'm Zahira with Capital, and you just heard all about financing.